Hello, and welcome to another episode of Amazon Ads News and Updates. Today, we're here at Accelerate at the Content Studio, where we've seen lots of partners, advertisers, and Amazon executives sharing tons of valuable insights on some of the new launches that were announced here the past couple of days. So I'm here to meet some of our partners to get their thoughts on how this helps or benefits advertisers and other agencies. So yeah, good to see you here at Accelerate, Destiny. So with all these announcements around the creative studio, how do you think this helps agencies and businesses like yours?
Well, I think there's a million different ways all of these tools are going to help brands and agencies because Amazon's really thought about every single size of seller. I think at the smaller end, if you can't afford to have professional grade video assets or lifestyle images done, Creative Studio unlocks that capability for you. Or maybe you're a larger brand and you have a few incredible assets, but you don't know how to scale them across all of the different formats or all the different audience types. We can now do that within one seamless tool.
So I heard you had a really great interview with David Beers from the creative team. Just curious, what are your thoughts on how these announcements around the creative studio will benefit agencies like yours?
I am so excited about what it really means for the industry and what agencies and brands can do with these new tools. We've really been investing in our own creative department. So we actually just onboarded a new creative director for our agency back in July. And being able to use these new tools really allows for us to scale our offering and get even deeper in our ability to test. So being able to align creative to custom targeting segments, seasonality, have more creative across larger catalogs. Like my head is spinning right now with the opportunities. So very excited about the progress and that we really are headed into this new era where the AI is of high quality to the point where brands with very specific guidelines will be able to truly embrace the tool.
It's funny how when one thing gets easier, more difficult things pop up.
I know, right? Well, I feel like that's been a part of my entire journey with Amazon. I joke because I started this agency almost 9 years ago. And when I first started, if you uploaded 6 images to a PDP, sales would go up 20%. We are so far from that. But as things become more advanced and competitive, you simply have to be willing to do more and be on the cutting edge.
Amazing. Really good to hear from you, and your thoughts are obviously very valued. Hey, Srinath, so really good to see you here at Accelerate.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I just want to dive a little deeper into the announcement on the democratization of AMC Access. How do you see this benefiting or helping tool providers like yourself?
Great question. First of all, let me just articulate why AMC in itself is valuable, and then we can get to how it helps us.
Of course.
I think AMC is the only place where advertisers get signals down to the shopper level about how they're interacting with their brand. Right? And so it's a unique data set. It's a unique set of signals which then allows them to answer questions that they couldn't answer before, create audiences, custom craft them. That's what AMC does. But until now, it's been out of reach for a lot of advertisers. And I think this democratization, it's exciting to get this type of signals and insight into their hands. But from a tool provider perspective, so far for the last couple of years, we've done a lot of education on what AMC is and provided capabilities around it. But with that self-serve launch, I think the ecosystem is going to hopefully get educated very quickly. And then what that'll do is it'll allow us, the tool providers, to add complementary value, which is let's get to the next stage of more important, more complex questions getting answered quickly and the necessary tooling in place to scale that, whether that's for a brand with multiple brands, sub-brands, or agencies that are managing lots of brands, right?
Yeah.
So I think our role still remains the same, which is how do we accelerate the adoption of it? It's just that what you have done from yesterday's announcement is just going to have a lot of people much more aware of what is possible.
Absolutely. And I know you work really closely with the Amazon teams on developing the product. So really excited to see what comes out of it
Yep.
from here onwards.
Same here. Super excited. A lot of possibilities. And frankly, a lot of interest from the advertisers too, just from what we have seen over the last couple of days.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Gabe, really good to see you here at Accelerate.
Great to see you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So I just wanted to dive a little deeper into the announcement yesterday on the democratization, on the access of AMC. How do you see this benefiting agencies and tool providers?
I think this is a really big step in accessibility. Previously with AMC, it required that you had an AE representative at Amazon, and not a lot of advertisers had that existing human relationship because of the scale of ads. I think there are over 1 million advertisers on Amazon. And so the ability for the onboarding experience to just be, hey, open the left nav menu, click on the button, and within a minute, your instance is launched. You have some pre-baked UI, UX kind of visualizations right out of the box. I think is a huge step in accessibility because now people can run AMC fully self-serve without a partner and without an AE.
Absolutely. And how have you seen, just within this 1-2 days, how have you seen the interest in it already with advertisers?
The interest is really high. And I think especially within the seller community, people feel like they didn't have access if they didn't have a partner. And people sort of still were having difficulty trying to figure out, okay, like I understand this thing conceptually, but how does it matter for my brand? And so like, is it worth it to try and find a partner, somebody who can, I hopefully agree with their logic, who can give me access to this kind of thing? They can now just do it themselves. And so this really reduces kind of that mental barrier. They're like, oh, well, all I have to do is just click that button and I can see some pre-baked reports that have those insights for me just to kind of temperature test. I think that's going to be really big for sellers.
For sure. And how do you see the partners' role in this with the sellers who now can do it themselves?
So one of the things that's true about just any UI, any report, is it's static. It is, whether it's Amazon who's made it or anybody else, it presents the data exactly as they interpret it. And one of the things about, accessibility is now with a whole bunch of new advertisers and sellers who now have access, they can now understand what questions might they ask next and who might be a partner who's equipped to answer those types of questions. And so sometimes those questions can be answered by a more sophisticated dashboard, or sometimes those questions are answered via some really sophisticated SQL. And so along that spectrum, brands now have the choice to find a partner that will give them the ability to answer whatever question they may think of.
Amazing. Thanks for these great insights, Gabe. And thanks again for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Joe. So good to see you here at Accelerate. Just diving into the Adobe Express integration announcement, how do you think this will help agencies like yours moving forward?
Yeah, I think a key thing is that with Amazon Ads, we just have so much control from the different shopper insights to reach the right audiences that we're really looking to reach. And I think one common thing is making sure that the ad creative that we have speaks directly to those people. And so with the Adobe Express add-on, I think what this allows us to do is to customize the ad creatives at scale. So we can customize it for different events, or we can give different headlines that reach different types of audiences that we're targeting, say with Amazon's DSP. And so I think what this really does is it reduces friction in getting these creatives put in place. And then it also gives us much more control to quickly iterate, test, and learn and see what really resonates with potential shoppers that we're trying to reach.
For sure. Yeah. Looking forward to hear what you think after you've used the add-on even more too.
Yeah, for sure. We're excited to check it out.
It was really great speaking with so many of our partners, getting their insights and thoughts on how a lot of these announcements that were made here at Accelerate are going to help their businesses. Thank you again for joining us, and I'll see you again on the next episode of In the Know.